Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Sunday Morning Coffee with Lisa. I'm spiritual coach Lisa Hopp. It is Sunday, February 26, 2023. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you're new, well, welcome. Please be sure to check out my website at lisahopp.com. I'm also on Facebook under my business page. I believe it's Spirit Teacher Lisa Hopp. You can find me on there. And I'm also on Instagram under Spiritual Coach Lisa Hopp. YouTube, if you're listening to this on YouTube, also Spiritual Coach Lisa Hopp. Please like, subscribe, and share if this podcast connects with you today. And for those of you who give me such wonderful comments and emails and just inspiration, thank you so much. I'm so grateful for you. I feel so humbled and blessed by the feedback I receive about the impact of what I tried to do, about my work overall, this podcast, just life. So, I giggle sometimes and because I do that naturally, but I am just so grateful for the universe and you who do contact me, bringing me the feedback that I'm doing all right. And I'm always striving to do better, but that I'm doing all right. So thank you, thank you, thank you. But I have to tell you, good listeners, today I'm a bit fired up this morning. And that is the topic of my podcast. All fired up, and then you know it's time for change. It is time for change because you and I are energy. We are energy in a physical body, a body of organs and skin and ligaments and blood and all kinds of senses that help us, or meant to help us, but also can get us in a bit of trouble at times. But the authentic part of ourselves, the pure part of ourselves, is this energy that we're made of. This energy that can light up cities, this energy that manifests, this energy that can destroy computers if we're too fired up, if we're too upset. I've done that before. I call it a Carrie after the movie. I can make things explode. I haven't been there in a very long time, but I can if I want to. And you can too. And when this energy of ours is more heightened, it gives us, it brings us more manifestation abilities. It's kicking it up a notch. It's getting into really the rocket flare, instant manifestation kind of mode. Now, we're all attracting what we put out. What we put out, we get back. And some of us try to go with a current. And yes, it is good to go with a mainstream. Or a downstream, a downstream, and to go along and to let things line up. But when you're fired up, you're setting intentions. As I said, you're kicking it up a notch. You're almost adding a steroid to it, so to speak. And that's the time when you set it up even stronger, and it has the potential to come to you even quicker and stronger. And it's also a sign to the universe that you're ready for what your intentions are, for what you're putting out, for that change that you're asking to come. And it usually happens when we get fired up. It usually happens upon an experience or hurt or enough is enough is enough. Maybe it's that moment when you put your pants on and they don't button like you want them to, and you're like, I'm done. This has to change. Maybe it's the moment when someone treats you wrong for the last time, and you're done. Maybe it's a moment when you're not appreciated at work the way you deserve, and you're done. It can be anything that is, you're done. You're done. And yes, sometimes it means that you go through a grief with it. We don't always, I don't think any of us really wants to have to sign up for change, because change has that what if about it, that not knowing. But change is really always good, even if it is masked, even if it's not what we really wanted to do, but we now know we don't have a choice. Well, that's just going to bring you the best. That's just going to bring you the best. So I'm fired up today. And I'm happy I'm fired up today, because I've seen what I want for myself through experience, and I've seen what I know I can have for myself too. Because you are worthy, you are deserving, you are important, you matter. And so whatever you would ask for yourself, it's your birthright. It's all right to ask for it. Don't let another human being tell you that you do not deserve to be treated right. You do not deserve to have respect. Don't let another human being tell you that somehow in how you feel you are wrong. Your emotions matter. They came from somewhere. They're not made up in your mind. They're not you being over emotional or histrionic. There's a core there. There is a root cause. So it has to be looked at. It has to be acknowledged, and it has to be healed. Because the more that you heal, the more open you are to everything, every blessing that wants to come to you in life. The more ready and more unblocked you are for every bit of abundance, for every bit of love, for every bit of health. Wide open, soaring, wide open. And the one thing that's important to do is to say thank you within yourself and to be grateful for that experience or those people that bring you that moment of being fired up. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You have shown me what I want and what I don't want. Thank you. You're a lesson. You're a teacher. You're a messenger. Be thankful, even if it is through pain, even if it's through hurt. Be thankful, because now you can take that moment in your hands and ask for what you want. You see, when you're fired up, again, your signal is more powerful. It is a rocket flare. Abraham, who is channeled by Esther Hicks, says, throwing up rocket flares for what you want. It's a rocket flare moment. It is a no, I don't want this, I want that. And the universe says yes. And it says yes in a more powerful way. It doesn't say yes in a quiet way. Oh, we're sending it to you subtly. It's sending it in a more powerful way. So it sets an intention. Again, intention. At the start of the year, and you may have heard this before if you're a weekly listener, and I hope you are. When at the beginning of the year, when I don't set resolutions for New Year's, I set intentions. And the intentions are generally not ones that most people would make. The normal ones, that join a gym or something like that. They're intentions of how I can be a better version of myself or bring to myself a better version of my life. And it happens all the time where we're shown these moments that are meant for us to ask for a better version of ourselves and a better version of our lives. And I was stuck. For those who listen every week, I sometimes get inspired about what to talk about the morning of. This is recorded today on Sunday morning. It is currently 9:26 a.m. And all night long, I'm like, oh my goodness, what am I going to talk about? But then I woke up and I went, well, how are you feeling today? I'm fired up. That's an excellent topic. And then I get on social media and there is someone going through the same thing. She's posting. She doesn't use the words fired up, but she's ready for change. There was a moment that she had. She said, enough is enough is enough. Does anyone want to join me in this? And I went, there you go. There's the validation. That is what I'm supposed to talk about. But you don't have to have someone join you, because people have to be ready where they are. They can follow you. They can be inspired by you. But we don't always need a team. I'm more powerful, I think, when I don't have a team sometimes, because then you have all these other elements involved, you know. But you want for yourself. Maybe they don't want for themselves, or maybe they think they do, but then they're not ready enough. They're not fired up enough. Maybe they just want others to change. I've learned, and you will learn too if you haven't already, that we cannot make others change. That we cannot say to others, you have to treat me this way verbally, and expect them to just change because they love us or they care about us. We have to accept people for where they are, who they are. All the scars, all the nooks, all the crannies, and sometimes even the selfishness we have to accept. But it doesn't mean we're supposed to feel less, we shouldn't feel less about ourselves. It doesn't mean that. It means we should feel very powerful, very loving towards ourselves, while giving understanding and love in current to them, energy current, but setting up our lives, taking care of ourselves, doing our intentions. I love lists. And I would say that to you today. If there's something in your life you want to change, make a list about what you want. I make lists for a lot of things. A lot of things. It is, someone may maybe call it a wish list. I call it an intention list. And it's happened before. What I intend through a list comes to me. And now it's time. It's time for new lists. It's time for new changes. It's time for a new chapter of life. It's time to branch out. It's time to grow. It's time to expand. It's time to go outside that comfort zone, maybe a little bit. Are you there too? Well, if you're not, there will be a time in your life where you'll be there, and there's been a time in your past where you've been there. And it's so important to let go of other expectation of others. But at the same time, it's all right to grieve what you thought you had or what you wanted it to be. It's just an acknowledgement of what you deserve and where you're wanting to go and where you're going. These times are blessings. They're such blessings, because not only do they bring positive changes, but they're informational. They're informational about where you are, what you want to be, who you want in your life, where you are going. We should always give to others unconditionally. It's very hard to do in this world, to be unconditional. And because we tend to be a species that doesn't want to be alone most of the time. And sometimes we do, it depends. But most of the time we want people. And we have feelings, we have senses, we have, we can have loneliness. We can have grief. We can have fear at times. We want to know we're cared for. And yes, we should put out to others what we want to receive. We should put it out always, because we teach others how to treat us. But, and I all cap this but, it does not mean that who you give it out to, you receive it back directly. It's so important to keep in mind. That's the conditional. That's the conditional. When we take an extra step for a friend, our human self will say, now, at some point I will receive an extra step, right? It's the conditional part of us. That's the human part of us. And there's nothing wrong with that. But you see, sometimes those around us, whether they be friends or family or coworkers, they can't give equally to what we put out. And sometimes, fair enough, people give more to us than we give to them. We can only be grateful for what we do receive back from people, because they give where they are, don't they? They give where they are. But the wonderful thing about this life is that if it doesn't come back from the person you give it to directly, it's going to come from another source. It comes from another source. I am so grateful when it comes from other sources, because it's always so timely. The universe always takes care of us. I've spoken before, perhaps on this podcast, of a timely testimonial. It's so perfect. It's at the perfect time when I need it the most. Sometimes it is someone giving more generously beyond what they pay for their appointment. That's happened a few times this week. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It doesn't always come from the one that you give the most to. Though with my clients, I try to give beyond what I charge, beyond the quality of the time. It doesn't always come from that that person. It could come from someone else. So it's so important to know that what you put out, you will get back. But it's hard for us in this life. We are taught from the moment that we're born that blood is thicker than water. Did you hear that? That's a bit of a Southern New Jersey accent came out with that. Water. It still pops up from time to time. But it makes me who I am, human. So I'll deal with it. It comes out. These beliefs, these teachings, and they become a part of us. So we want those around us to treat us as we know at some level we deserve. We want to be able to trust them. We want to know they're taking care of us. We want to know that they love us and think we're all right. And when it doesn't come, when it doesn't add up, we often will feel there's something with us, that we're perhaps not lovable, that we're not enough. But that is never the case. It's just not. How people treat us, whether they are a part of our lives, as a friend, as a family, as a coworker, as a boss, whomever they are, as a person at the DMV, how they treat us is all about them. It's not us. And what needs to be healed within them. And there are so many good people in this world. There are more good people than not good people. That is true, by the way. Though nowadays everyone, I feel, well, not everyone, but I think some are okay with their devil being out a little bit more. But that's the healing. That's the healing that they need. That's the healing that they're asking for. They're letting it out. They're broadcasting it. They're screaming, love me. They're screaming, I'm not all right. So if they're screaming hate, they're really in the most need of love. If they're screaming anger, they're in the most need of love. If they're screaming about how much they need from you, they're in the most need of love. And all you have to do with your wonderful, loving energy is let it flow out to them. Just let it flow out to them. You don't have to say it, but don't say angry words if you can. Don't say negative words. You can speak your truth without being cruel. You can speak your truth without being hurtful. That's very important to keep in mind. Isn't it true sometimes that those that say they love us the most are the ones that can be the most cruel with their words? You know why? Because they know we'll take it. They think we'll take it. They shouldn't know we'll take it. But many times we have. And many times we could take it. You don't have to take it. You don't ever have to take it. And in all honesty, you shouldn't take it. You can say, I don't like your words right now. I don't like your tone. And it's okay. It's so important to know that you are worth that. That you are a lovable human being. And that you are worth expressing your truth. But always do it from a place of love. Can you express your truth from a place of love? I will tell you that if you can, if you do, you will receive it back in some way, 10 times or more over. It may come from a stranger. It may come from a boss that suddenly wants to give you more. It may come from someone you haven't heard from in forever and suddenly they pop up. So, don't take it. Speak your truth. Speak up for yourself. But always do so out of love. Oh, there are so many times. And you've been there too. No matter how wonderful and pure and loving you are. And I know listeners that listen to me that are angels on earth. You're angels on earth. Oh, such a light about you. But I know you've had times when you have wanted to be scathing, that you've had rage, that you've wanted to give it how you've gotten it. When you go to do that, think about the power of those words. Think about the power of those emotions. Think about the power of those thoughts you're having. I've been there recently where I've wanted to give it. And I stopped and I thought about it. Is that the energy that you want to put out? No, because it's not going to do anything for the higher good. It's up to me to heal it within myself. It's up to me to get all fired up for change within myself, to get excited, to say, I'm bumping it up a notch. No more. I'm bumping up my life. I'm bumping up myself. It's a new day. It's a new day. That's what you do. That's what you do. Now, I will tell you that there will be people around you that won't like it. And they may even talk about you. Just let them do what they need to do. Because they're just healing. They're just going through their stuff. And sometimes people who are going through their stuff want a team. They want allies. But all they're getting are allies that are just like them. So if they're being negative, they're just multiplying negativity. And it's going to come back and bite them. And you know, it's amazing to me. Because I'm a studier of energy. And I'm a teacher about energy and vibration. And what we put out, we get back. Manifestation. And I watch. And I am in no way the manifestation police. I'm not going to tell you about it. But it's amazing how every day people don't see what they're doing. It's amazing. Why is my life falling apart as I am negative every day? Because you are so powerful. You're that powerful. And the universe is giving you what you're putting out. If you are cranky, you're going to get more reasons to be cranky. So you have to fix those emotions inside and those thoughts inside and those words inside. It's so, so very important. If it matters to you, you can live life however you want. But if you want the best life, be very cognizant of what you're focusing on. Because it's strong. Your ability to create is strong. Every single thing you intend manifests in some form. It may not be clear at times, but it comes in some form. If you don't want to give, someone will not want to give to you. If you complain, someone will complain about you. But I see it. I see it so much. I see why is it that those who post on social media can't fathom, some of them, some of you perhaps too, if you're on. And by the way, staying away from it may help, but not if you're not doing the inner work. You're still putting out the same vibration whether you're posting or not. But I think posting kicks it up a notch. When you put out there about how someone treated you at the store, or anything like that you don't like, or any complaint, you're just asking for more of that. Yet people can't fathom they're that powerful, because we're not taught we're that powerful. We are taught from the moment we're born that we are sinners. If we abide enough, if we do play by rules, we might go on to a greater place or not. Many people judge about who's in hell and who's not, and because it's all from our humanity, from our judgments, from what we're taught. And we apply this judgment, and often this arrogance, and our issues with those who may have more than us, we think, because we're viewing from the outside. We let this stew within us, and then we post about it. And what we're doing is posting like to attract like. Now, some post positive things. I do as well, because I don't want to attract what I don't want to attract. At the same time, though, if you're posting positive things, you must make sure to feel those positive things, at least a little, because the universe isn't tricked. If you're posting it's all good and you're not feeling it's all good, you're not going to get all good. So it's so important to feel what you're posting, to be grateful. And yes, we all have days. We all have moments where I'm not feeling it, but I'm going to post this and reread it myself and rise up my vibration and get this positive wave going. That's good. Do that. But do know that it's important to be authentic. You have to feel and to think in agreement with those posts, those positive posts, because it matters. It matters to what you have in your life. It matters how fulfilled you are, and it matters to what you have to be able to give out to others. It just matters. So when you go to pen a letter, to write an email, to post on social media, to talk to those in your life, make sure that what you're verbalizing is what you want to receive back. If it's I love you, say I love you constantly, but be authentic in it. Be authentic in that you feel I love you, even if you have to really fuel it up. Because you don't want someone saying I love you back to you that doesn't feel the same. It doesn't put the both of you in the flow. What we say must be felt. What we put out, we get back. Now, you may not be in my place today where you are ready for change, that you're so fired up for it, that you come to that place of enough is enough is enough. But I want you to remember, if you will, if you choose, that the next time, get excited the next time it happens to you, because it will happen, because you are here playing the game of life. It will happen. That moment that someone does something and you say, not again. The moment that anything happens that you say, no more. Get excited. Wonderful things are about to appear. Wonderful changes are about to occur. And you are blessed to be part of the team. Yes. Woohoo. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm off to do some things. If you enjoyed this podcast or connected with it at all, please like, subscribe, and share. Please do follow me on Facebook under my business page, Spirit Teacher Lisa Hop. Please go to lisahop.com and sign up for my newsletter. Services are available, most by telephone and Zoom as well, no matter where you are. And find me on Instagram under Spirit Teacher or Spiritual Coach Lisa Hop. I appreciate every single one of you. Thank you so much for joining me today. Have a very blessed day and a wonderful week until I talk to you next time. Bye-bye.